in place. Y'all really tested my pace. Right before I blow up the spot, I had to get back to the basics. What if my talent is wasted? You speak, but I'm lacking the placement. Just since I rap in the basement, but my come up is legend is greatness. Kid now is pedal to the metal. I can never quit now, I will never settle. Puppet to the game, I'm pulling strings like Geppetto. We in the same game, but I'm on a different level. I passed it. Gotta keep grinding till I'm laid up in the casket. No fake round, but you feeling too plastic. Yeah, y'all feeling too plastic. They say my style crazy, but then it's straight jacket. Wow. Why you still testing my patience? Trying to turn me into something. All the haters in heavy rotation. You gon' lose yourself with testing me. Don't lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Like Wesley test me. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Don't make me lose my mind. Like Wesley test me. Like Wesley test me. Don't make me lose my mind. Like Wesley test me. Yeah, guess I know no better. I ain't got no chill, so they call nigga dumb. I am just a man on a mission. If I want it, then I get it. I call. And if you're trying to test me,
What is up, everybody? So this is not a podcast. This is just a live stream. But one thing that I will do, even though I won't, no sponsor reads, none of that. We will do the pledge real fast, and then we'll get on with this fucking hangout. Let's rock and roll. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it. What is up, everybody? Thank you for coming to this Saturday Night Fun. Awesome show by the Misfits. I was in and out. I was trying to put my daughters to sleep. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to keep doing these hangouts, but I don't know if they're going to be able to be after the show because putting my daughters to sleep is kind of my thing, us hanging out, and they are not happy tonight. I was getting boycotted upstairs. But anyway, we're going to have a good time tonight. What is up, everybody? Mr. Nasty, what's up? What's up? Mr. Freon Leon, rookie, what's up, brother? East Coast, what's up? What's up? Let's see. Mr. Brian Sanders, what is up, my friend? I know Jason Johnson's in here. What's up, brother? AB HVAC, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate you. HVAC Obsessed, what's up, man? I knew I missed you at the top of the list. Don't think. Mr. Outlaw, Mr. John Gantz, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Mr. Neil C. Vids, what's up? What's up? Hey, Mr. Sammy, what's up, Sammy? How is everyone doing tonight? Just so you know, if anybody wants to hop in, you guys are more than welcome to hop in with me tonight. Just email. Matter of fact, let me pull up the podcast email. I'll pull up the email. So if you email me at info@hvacuncensored.com, Rookie's got it in the chat. If anybody wants to pop in, I will send you guys a link. I moved all this shit around, and now there we go. What the fuck? Sorry, guys. So yes, so this is not a podcast, no sponsor reads, nothing like that. Just trying to hang out with you guys, man. I know this week. Sorry, trying to make sure I get the email open. I'm not wearing any pants. Yeah, no, we can call in. I got the phone right here. Let me make sure this thing stays charged though, and make sure. Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure that this phone is connected to this mixer, and you guys can call in if you want. Where is it? Ugh. I haven't used the phone in a while. I gotta get all that shit plugged. It's not plugged in. Just set up real fast. Let me put it on this channel. There we go. There we go. There we go. I am wearing pants and I don't have Crocs on. See, I had to make sure I had shorts on those. These things are kind of light. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I don't. We're gonna have to wait on the call in tonight. This phone is not connected to it, and I don't want to sit here. So my bad. But you guys can hop in the chat if I mean not the chat. You can hop up here if anybody wants to hop up here. Da, da, da. And I got the email open. So if you want to hop on, you don't have to, man. We can sit here and just bullshit, talk about different things. Um, but I would like to hope that somebody would hop in here. If a lot of people don't know, man, these hangouts, if you've been around for a while, like when I first came onto the YouTube scene probably 10 years ago, not as doing anything more than 10 years ago, uh, before all the podcasts, not many HVAC podcasts were even out then. And these hangouts, people would do them on different channels. And they used to be a fucking blast. They were fun. Rookie never wants to come on, man. He comes on sometimes. What's up, Hughes, man? What's up, brother? Good show tonight, man. That was an awesome show. Everett's a good friend of mine. I love Everett. So he's a amazing dude. So I knew that was going to be a good show. Anybody can come in. I took one of my gummies early, so who knows? I may zonk out halfway through this. We'll see how it goes. What's up? What's up? Obsessed. What's up? What's up? Mr. HVAC Residential Basics. Long time no see, sir. Yeah, that's what I heard. He did one last night. Friday nights are horrible because the way my wife does it and the way we do things with my family. Um, Friday nights is always kind of that family night. So if I tried to get away, my wife lets me do a lot of stuff away from the family. So some of those things I'm just not gonna fight. But I do wish that I could have saw that with Ty. But once again, anybody new coming in, if you want to hop on here with me, you're more than welcome. Just email me at info@hvacuncensored.com. My man Rookie has it in the chat several times. And I will email you back a link, and you can more than welcome to hop in. You don't got to stay the whole time. That's kind of how these hangouts are designed to be. Different people hanging in, having different conversations, BSing with each other. 37 nerds there. Um, Me too, Ken HVAC. Me too. And I normally don't talk politics on here, but I am I am definitely policing that vote. But anyway, man, these hangouts, the whole point, what I was trying to say before is obviously I didn't have a guest last Wednesday, but I do have guests coming forward. I have some really good guests actually. Um, and sometimes I see you, I appreciate you guys know who you are, the ones that are at my podcast every single week in week out for the most part. I appreciate you guys so much for being there. And I know sometimes you guys have your own conversations, but I am so focused on the guest that a lot of times I can't pay as much attention to you guys. Some of the boring shows I do, but the ones that I'm actually interacting with the guest, it's a little bit harder. So I like doing these things, man. Just it's like we don't have to worry about. Like I always tell you guys, the audio podcast is what pays the bills around here. So obviously on the Wednesday show, I have to think about it from an audio listener and make sure that that can go out and stuff like that. Rookie said the check didn't clear. What are you talking about? There was no check, man. It was Zeld. That shit's there, buddy. Jason Johnson, you can come on. I know that you don't like it being late, but Hughes, man, you're more than welcome. Anybody is more than welcome to come on, man. You don't have to have a YouTube channel or be an influencer. And once again, I mean, I know nobody will hear this audio wise, but if you watch this video, the same goes for the podcast. I just like a good story. I like having a conversation with like minded people, or not even like minded. We can argue things back. I don't give a shit. I just like having people on the podcast and hearing people's story, how they got in, what they do. It's cool. I love that part of it. Yeah, there was I heard it at AHR again. People were like coming up to me like, "Hey man, I love to come on the show." Like, I'm and like telling me like how many subscribers or how many followers they have, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. That doesn't matter. Duh, duh. Yeah, I agree. I can't wait for AHR either, man. I love it. I'm gonna try to see if I can go all out this year, but since I'm a poor broke fellow now, not working, I can't. I don't know if I can afford that kind of stuff. It's like, now I'm fine. Yeah, so tickets, you go on and just apply for them, nasty. And the good thing about is if you go to AHR's website and you book your tickets through there, and then it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. And then when you can book your hotel there, you don't even got to put a deposit down. You can book everything now while there's plenty of room, plenty of space. Because if you wait till the last minute, like I normally do, it gets to be a pain. But you don't even got to put any money down now if you don't want to. So that way you got some time to save up for it, just so people know that. All right, cool. I think Mr. Hughes man is going to come on. Fucking right. Flights are getting a little bit better, and especially so now it sucks. I'm still going to go to BWI Airport. Even though it's a little bit farther for me now. Like Andrews Air Force Base, obviously that's not you're not getting a commercial flight out of there, but that's like I can't even fly my fucking drone around here because of that. But that sucks. I love my drone. But anyway, yeah, I tell everybody if you have never been to an AHR, you need to go to one. at least experience it once, whatever you can do it. So it's Orlando this year. Normally, the four cities it's in is Orlando, Atlanta, Vegas, Chicago. So it was Chicago. It's going to Orlando. Then it should go to Vegas and then to Atlanta, unless they put something another place in there. Yes, I do, Nasty. I know that I met you. See, I don't remember everything, but I remember meeting you, man. Yeah, and you get the discount too, Jason. But oh yeah, what I was gonna say about when you said your flight, Jason, is flying BWI to Orlando is not bad either because there's a Southwest hub here. That's a lot of times why I fly Southwest. Not that it's some great airline, but as long as I buy, like, I'll pay for like the nicer business class ticket so I can be like A1 through 10, so I can get on first. And normally it's not bad, and the flights are even that is still cheap. Yeah, you can't beat some of Southwest deal, especially if you go with like the whatever the lower one is, which to be honest is what people should do. I like I said, I only it's on the same fucking flight, the same fucking seat, so I don't really get why you pay more. The only thing is maybe you don't get to pick your seat, but that's the only reason I pay for it. Plus, it's a tax write off, so it doesn't really matter. But Orlando's fun. So Orlando was actually the first one that I went to. So I'm looking forward to going back. Orlando was a blast. Even though last time it was there, which is counting COVID, has been quite a few years now. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it wasn't. It was kind of chilly. I was like, "Fuck, man! I'm going to Florida and it's not even warm." Nice, Jason. That's good shit. I said Vegas, rookie. Well, I keep forgetting that chat's a little bit behind me. So, yeah, I said Vegas. Vegas is awesome, obviously, because it's Vegas. Nice. Matter of fact, I do want to go to the symposium this year. Um, Me and Brian have talked about it, and Brian's awesome. Brian Orr, told me if there's something I wanted to do there, wanting to have a booth or anything, that he's like, just let me know, and we'll make it happen. So that's pretty awesome. Brian's awesome. You'll love it, Jason. I can't wait to finally meet you in person too, bro. It's a blast. There's a lot of stuff to do out there in Orlando. Obviously, I think I'm gonna take the family and we're gonna do the Disney thing. So they'll be down there at a hotel while I'm there, but I'll still go out and do my thing. They know that. But finally, turn this into a vacation. The whole family can enjoy it. Even though I do, especially now, not working and doing coaching and different things. Um, I want to get out to more of these different events. Normally, it's HVAC obsessed. It's right before or right after. He normally doesn't do it at the same time, but a lot of times, especially when Brian's a smart businessman, so it's probably going to be a few days before or a few days after, is what I would say, is what I think it is. But even when AHR is other places and then there's the symposium, he always does it like right after or before. Okay, so it is before. Leon said it is before, which it makes sense. I mean, I figured nobody's gonna do something and compete with AHR. That's yeah. Brian's a smart dude. That makes sense. The Thursday before, nice. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I figured he would do. That's a fucking awesome weekend. Symposium, tactical awards, AHR, fucking Disney. Nice. I got half a chub on that. All right, maybe more than half. I want to try to plan. Obviously, if you have been like Rookie knows from being there with me, Nasty. I don't know if you went to any of the after parties, um, but my buddy Tersh Blissett, founder and one of the hosts of the Service Business Mastery podcast, which if you're HVAC business, that's well, actually, service business in general, that is a place to go. Tersh and Josh do a fucking amazing job with that podcast. Um, but now, fuck, I'm sitting here showing love to Tersh and forgot what the hell I was talking about in the first place. Oh, he does that party like Monday night, the first night, and the first time he did it in Atlanta. I mean, Rookie was there. He said that we put it on, but really they did it and let me have credit. So I don't want to steal that from them. But I'd love to have something like that. It's just so hard because all of these big manufacturers throw these parties afterwards. And obviously, being an influencer, they want you there, they want you shooting videos. So we're invited to all that. Normally, anybody can get in for the most part. There's been a few of them where it had to be invite only and you had to wear like your fucking AHR badge and shit. Oh shit, Ryan. Oh fuck yeah, Sam's up there too. My fault, fellas. I'm sitting here running my mouth. Let me. Fuck. Where's the link at? Where's the link? I'm gonna email you guys the link right now, Sam and interview. There we go. Copy this. Let me email these guys back real fast. All right, Sammy, I just sent yours, buddy. Mr. Ryan. Just sent it to you. So, Sam, I just sent yours, buddy. Act like you're a waiter. That's funny. Let me make sure I have these things built up for different people. Yeah, I do. But yeah, once again, I mean, you guys brought up HR, but yeah, if you have the ability to go to one, I highly suggest that you do. They are definitely a blast. If you do enough, I mean, you get to see a lot of cool stuff, meet a lot of cool people, and sorry, moving some things around, and you can get so much free shit there, deals on stuff. That's not true. You can send links. You just can't get to it. Ryan and Sam, did you get them? I sent you both the link to get in. That's good, Jason, to bring extra because you're gonna go home with way more shit. Are you gonna get it? We can get you tickets to the tactical awards. Oh, there we go. Let me get mhm. We got a guest, Mister. Shit, I'm gonna have to turn your name off. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
What up?
What up? What up? Ooh, I think
I gotta.
can hear myself coming through your thing there, buddy. Try to get this fucking name off. You guys all
Can you
know
hear me?
this man, Mr. Hughes man. Let me make sure it's not coming through. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I'm trying to get the name turned off now. I feel bad. I forgot about this and I didn't there we go. I think Mr. Sammy is ready to come in too.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
Am I sounding all right to you? I had to click a couple things and make a few adjustments.
Yeah, no, you're good. You sounded fine. I think it was just you could hear me coming through you, but I don't think you hear it anymore.
No, I switched a couple of things. I'm learning because I use StreamYard for my streams. And what are we using here? What is this?
I use Ecamm Live. It's
It's totally
yeah,
different.
I like Ecamm because you can customize it to where it can be whatever you want. Versus StreamYard, when you use it, people know what you're using, but it's very easy to use. If I didn't start with this, I'd probably be using StreamYard. Is that you up there, Sammy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's up, brother?
Okay. I just wanted to, before I forget, wanted to shout out to Ryan and also to Kraus because, as I mentioned in the chat tonight, the first time I ever engaged with HVAC Uncensored was on one of these Saturday night hangouts.
Nice.
And Ryan and Kraus and maybe one other person were on the screen at one time. And you had a giveaway, you had an impromptu giveaway. And Gil asked somebody to come up with a question to ask the group to do the giveaway. So Ryan threw a question, which was, he says, well, why don't you ask him something about the refrigeration cycle? So I think you asked something like, what is the state of the refrigerant after the condenser, right after the condenser at the liquid line? So I was the first one to answer. And I think I won like a 7-in-1, that Klein 7-in-1 nut driver, the Christmas tree thing.
Oh, I remember that actually, Sam. That's funny. As you were describing that story, I remember that.
Yeah, it's coming back to me. I think I remember that as well.
Yeah.
Did Gil ever send it to you?
I did.
He did. He did.
I've had a few things go him, and your guys' stuff is. I know it didn't get shipped out to the other day. Setting up that ship station is awesome. Anybody who ships anything, I've heard about. I did the stamps.com thing before, but the ship station is fucking awesome. Like, you download an app, you can print all of it. I got the printer, it prints it out. It sends me free boxes and shit, and then I put them out front, and it just comes and picks it up. It is amazing.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's what I need. So I haven't been the best shipper, but Sam is one of a few things, man, and I appreciate you for supporting me as long as you have, man. I appreciate all of you guys that come into the chat, especially. I know that most of you are technicians, and sometimes my show is kind of hard on the tech stuff, and then sometimes it's other things. So I appreciate the fact that you guys keep showing up and you still make it fun, even though it's not necessarily like tech related stuff sometimes. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Sam, what is that picture we're looking at? I'm liking that.
It's actually it's Wall Street from the early 1900s, I think. It's a G. Harvey. It's a G. Harvey print.
Nice.
And it is. I can't figure out why this camera is. Why it. How you get stuff in the frame, but the name of it is. I think it's called Canyon of Dreams.
I'm liking it. And I want to say too, I've noticed Sam, Andrew in the chat in multiple live streams for, I don't know, it seems like years now. Always there with questions and comments and involved. And that's awesome. It's nice to finally get to hear your voice and talk to you in person. And that's kind of what I like, with the Hangout things too. It seems like our show that we're doing on over there we're interviewing guests, but it always kind of seems like a hangout too. And I'm thrilled to have you on here and with Gil and talk to you. So it's awesome.
I agree.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of exciting to be here because I've never been. I don't really like text. I don't like chat because it's very limited. You can't hear what the person sounds like. You can't hear their voice. You don't know if they're if they're trying to be sarcastic or making a joke or
That's one of my biggest problems with text is I'll get a text and I'm like, this asshole, he's being a dick. And then I was like, he wasn't even being a dick to begin with. It was just all taken out of, you can't get the inflection in someone's voice or the way that they're trying to portray what it is they're saying through text. A lot of I don't want to say misinformation, but you mistake what people are trying to say through text. Gil, do you agree with me on that?
100%. And especially when, people in the chat are busting balls and stuff like that. So when somebody texts something, you just assume like, they're busting balls, but nothing's ever negative. But maybe that's not how a person meant it. It does get hard. Yeah. But I wanted to say this too real fast, like not to get all sappy on you guys, but somebody else who does a podcast like Ryan, he'll understand this, that you look forward, like when I do these podcasts, especially if I do it solo or even with a guest, it's awesome to look forward to see those consistent names, those people that are always there. So just so you guys understand, maybe you're sitting behind your phone or sitting behind a computer, but when you show up to stuff like that, it has more meaning than you think it does. If you guys notice, that's why a lot of times when I do giveaways like that, I give it to you guys. I don't care if the same fucking person wins. I rather give it to you guys who are there every fucking Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every fucking week. I'd rather give to you guys all the stuff that I get than give it to some random person who, okay, maybe they're going to start. Yeah, they're going to start listening to the show now. That's cool. But yeah, fuck that.
No, it means a lot too, because I read the names a lot off the chat at the beginning of the show, just to recognize this, because it means a lot, because without people listening and watching live, especially, it's exciting to see the number there and the people that are watching, the people that are involved. And just so everybody knows, through text, I always take everything super personal. I always expect the worst. I will, assume you're being, no, I'm just playing. But it is, I see your point on that, Sam. It's hard to judge what somebody's saying through text because things get misconstrued. That's all.
So does that mean you're not busting my balls all the time, Sam?
Yeah, I'm busting your balls, but I feel your vibe. You bust everybody's balls. Yeah. So you and Rookie have this thing going, and I just jump in, but sometimes you deserve it.
Hey, first of all, I was joking, and that's fine, dude. I love that. Anybody who's ever met me in person knows that I like to have fun. I like to joke. I'm not all about being serious like that, and I'd rather you be like that and give it to me raw, especially if I'm actually doing something stupid. I mean, I'd rather you be in the chat like, hey, what the fuck, man, than not say anything. So trust me, I'm totally cool with that. What the
Yeah. And also, you had at least once, maybe more than once, you had the grammarian on.
Yes.
The HVAC grammarian. So I'm kind of like that. I'm, I don't have a brand name or anything, but, I notice things, that's one of the reasons I became a tech, because, I've always been known as a detail guy. And, so things that are misspelled, or like you got the wrong time on, you put the wrong time on the preview for the podcast, or, things like that. One time you had the crawl. I don't know what I call it, the crawl, the moving banner on the screen,
the thing on the top.
So one time you had, I don't know, you had something that was totally like wrong. Like it's either misspelling or you got the wrong name or something. And so I put that in. I said, rookie, tell him, because he was like the guy that fed you the instructions
Info.
if you couldn't follow the chat.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I appreciate when you guys say that, because once again, I'm so focused on things sometimes. If you guys don't tell, like if the sound's messed up, hey Gil, we didn't hear that song, or we didn't hear this. If you don't tell me, then I don't know, man. So I appreciate the fuck out of that stuff.
yeah. And I've been telling you, it's still not fixed, this thing with the music. Before you move the studio, and maybe for a few months before that, it was always when you, when the introductory guy comes on and he says, welcome to the, the number one podcast, whatever. There's like this heavy rock and roll beat behind it. That has not been there for the last few months. And
get on it, bro. Sam is a stickler for this.
Yeah.
No, and he says it, but the only thing is, the only problem, Sam, is some people. So as far as music, I figured out what that was. It's the music you hear comes from my mixer. It was coming from the Stream Deck for some reason, because Ecamm was muting it. So I was hearing it like you guys were, but you weren't. But all the other songs that I've played, everybody else is saying they're hearing it though. So that's the only thing. And then I know it's on the recording because it goes out on the audio. But
audio podcast on like the audio end of it.
Yeah. So trust me, I listen to that, man. So sometimes I say it, but I go back and I try to find and listen. So everybody in here now, I'm going to play a song like I would in the beginning. And I want you to.
We're getting to the bottom of it right now.
Yeah. Let's fix it live on air. What the fuck?
I hardly hear it. Huh? Hardly.
I don't hear anything, but I'm on the stream. I don't know if it's the same as listening on YouTube.
Can anybody hear music now?
I hear a beat. I hear a beat. If there's more than that, I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's coming through.
It's very, I can see where on our end, like he said, we're on the stream. Maybe
it cuts in and out. And if there's a vocal, I don't hear anything.
Yeah, no, there was no vocal in that, but all right, cool. I mean, that's good to know. I got to figure out, what's going on with that. Cause it's, the volume's up. So,
but are you saying, like, if I went later tonight or tomorrow and went to Spotify and pulled up your audio podcast, are you saying I should be able to hear it on the audio podcast?
Well, technically yes, but the only problem is I cut that out of the audio podcast. So where I start the audio podcast is right where my initial intro happens, and like the logo spitting, you hear that ring. That's where the audio podcast starts.
Yeah.
But I hear it. Like, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull one up. Maybe I can play it on here and you guys can hear it. So I can hear the music. What I should do, to be honest, now that you just said that, I probably should go back and watch the stream. Normally I don't go back and watch my own streams, you know what I mean? But that's probably what I should do.
I don't watch or listen to anything after it's live. I cut it and send it.
Yeah, that's a lot of times. I listen to the audio because as I'm editing it, you're listening to it over and over again. That's why I download my own podcast, but I don't listen to it because I've heard it enough. I don't feel like listening to my own voice.
Yeah, no doubt. If I can interject here real quick, we were talking months ago about Stream Deck. And I reached out to you, Gil, and asked, hey, what Stream Deck do you got? And you gave me the info on what you had. I ended up buying a Stream Deck off of, oh, shit. I'm not even going to mention the name now because I can't pull it up. I'm brain dead. But I can't use the Stream Deck on StreamYard. I had no idea. No, it doesn't incorporate. I mean, there's a couple of things I can do, but I got this freaking Stream Deck here. It just sits there, plugged in, doesn't do a damn thing. I can't. I wish StreamYard would incorporate the Stream Deck. I wanted to like play audio sounds, cheers, and this and that. You know, I wanted to
Yeah.
use it as a, you know, somewhere where I could play music and things. It's a
Yeah.
total nightmare to do with StreamYard.
Well, even
StreamYard and
no,
Stream Deck, that they're not on the same page. It sucks. So I'm looking
you're
to sell this fucking thing.
you're probably right, but it, forget StreamYard for a second. If you download the Elgato app for that, you
I
can go
have it.
inside of you can go inside of their music and download music.
Yeah, but I can't use it to just hit a button and make music play during my live stream through StreamYard. It's a
Yeah.
StreamYard. They don't want to, and I'm like, why wouldn't you just? I don't know. I'm not a computer guy. Click some buttons and push some stuff and make it easy for me to do that. That would be ideal. But yeah, I bought this thing. It's pretty much worthless. From I'm such an idiot. I can't remember the freaking guy's name. You know, you get on these live streams and you're put on like on the spot to remember someone's name or this or that,
It's
and you
hard.
totally
Or you
blank
remember
out.
their
It's hard.
screen name.
I know the guy. I was on his freaking show. I'm not even gonna mention it now because people were like, "You're an idiot," which they're probably right. How's the heat been in your neck of the woods, Gil? Because it's been hot as hell here. My brain's been frying.
Yeah, it's been it was like 98 here today. It was 96
Yeah,
yesterday. It's supposed to be hot the next couple of days. And to be
yeah,
honest, it actually feels weird with these hot days and I'm not in an HVAC office. You know what I mean?
yeah. What are you doing? Can I ask? Can you
Yeah,
answer?
of course. So right now, not much. So I'm doing a lot of stuff for the podcast and some other things, and then probably this week, I'm actually going to go help a friend of a lot of people that we know. I'm going
Yeah.
to help him in his business, which is going to be a good time. And yeah, I'm going to do that for a little bit, and then I'm unsure, man. I just long story short, over my career, I've made a lot of men rich.
A lot. Yes, a lot of money.
Yeah. Which I have great respect for. I respect their ambition, so I don't mean that in a negative kind of way. But there's things that I want to do in my life that I loved working at Beltway. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of you understand, unless you know me personally, how hard it was for me to walk away from that place. I mean, I even though it was my decision, I had the day that I went and took my stuff out of my office and I dropped my truck off, because that's a Beltway truck. I had tears in my eyes because I love that place. But deep in my heart, I also know that there's other things that I want to do. And if that place is eating up such a huge chunk of my time, I'm not going to be able to do said things. So, when I say that I want to help the trade and I want to give back to it, it's not just by doing a podcast. There's things that I would like to do, and that can't happen doing that, if that makes sense.
I mean, none of us really know, and I'm not here to pry or try to understand it. But all I can tell you is follow your heart, and you're not an idiot, Gil. You know what you're doing. Everybody out there knows. So it is what
all
it
I
is.
can tell you is follow your heart.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, no, that was Sam out, or maybe that was playing through. But
Uh,
yeah, thank you, man. And like I said, I could look back and this could be the dumbest decision I ever made, but you don't know until you take a risk. And it's not like I can't go back to Beltway. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do that to him now because I wouldn't play with the emotions of the people there, So that's why it kind of happened quickly. So everybody
Yeah.
knows I took a week off to see if maybe I could shake the feeling before I did something final. And I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't. I sat down with Ryan and was like, I can't. So I wanted to do what was best for Beltway, and I didn't want it to be like, hey, Gil's leaving, June 20th. You know what I mean? And make a big deal out of it, because
Yeah.
it's a busy season. That would be selfish of me, and I wouldn't do that to a place that I love. So it was like, I'm just gonna roll. We're just gonna pull this Band-Aid off, and we'll deal with it that way. And we know it was shocking, but it was done what we thought was best.
You're not. I mean, I can only assume, but you're not starting a rap career, are you?
Yeah, no,
That's
no.
not the okay. I just figured maybe that might be the
I tried out for a boy band, but
direction
they
we're
said I was
going.
too old.
Right on.
Hold on, I got some people in the email. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can say what you got to say.
No, I was just gonna say it's so cool to have Sam on here. I thought he was younger. I can tell by his voice. He's what, mid-40s? Sam, am I correct in that, or am I completely wrong?
I was waiting for that. I'm gonna keep the details a little bit vague at the moment. I think I mentioned it the other night at the podcast. I had a doxing incident. So, putting it out there and it's recorded and it's basically on here forever.
Yeah, it sure is.
So, but
That's
you're, most people, what's that?
I'm in the ballpark then. You're in your mid-40s is what my question is.
Well, let's just say most people think I'm younger than I am.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, Gil, you've probably witnessed this. What happens on the internet is there for life. And I've got a few embarrassing moments of my own where I'm like, oh, crap, that's going to be there forever. And, it's just part of it. I guess if you put it out there, you got to,
Yeah, but sometimes it's not as bad as you think. Trust me, there's a shit ton of videos out there with my mug on there. And especially I had the John Israel video was like the biggest video I've ever been in. And I eventually took that down because I don't even want that kind of negativity. Plus that I'm not going to beat a dead horse. That was years ago. But
sure.
I used to get all kind of shit because of that video.
Gil, I wanna mention a few things, if I might.
Sure.
I actually sent you an email months ago. I know you get thousands of them, so I don't care. But since I got your attention, I'd like to mention those again because I thought they were pretty helpful. So one thing I said is that when you go to YouTube and you search for HVAC Uncensored, it will not complete it for you. You have to type the entire thing, every single last letter.
I know
and
that. Because it's funny, because I was actually doing that on my tablet the other day, which I don't really understand why. As far as the tag words and stuff that I use,
I think it's uncensored. I think the uncensored may have something to do with it. I think they, for whatever reason, they think if it's specified uncensored, that it's probably, not for kids or, a little bit racy. So I'm just guessing, but it's got to have something to do with it.
It definitely could, because the YouTube algorithm doesn't like cussing, but that's it. So I hear that, but then I don't agree. It's not 100% true. So for several reasons. When I first started this podcast, people told me that this would never grow because I use foul language, and look who's laughing now. But the other thing is all my videos are marked. Like my account is marked, not for kids, explicit, But you could be right. I know Facebook doesn't like me. I wish I had a recording of that meeting when I lost. So a lot of you don't even know this, besides Rookie and some people. I think Ryan probably knows. My original Facebook group, HVAC Uncensored Nation, was like almost 100,000 people, give or take. And then during COVID, Facebook shut the group down because like people were calling each other faggots and, whatever. So they shut the group down, and I had to go before a board meeting because it's COVID. They do it through Zoom. And if this offends anybody, I'm sorry, but this is the truth. Remember, the words that they were pissed off about was like gay slurs, so faggot, stuff like that. And when it popped up, it was like a lesbian, dyke, transgender. I was like, I'm fucked, which I was. And they just sat there and drilled me.
They don't play around with those
No,
words.
they do
anymore.
not.
I mean,
not one of them cracked they didn't crack a smile. They were looking through me. And I said, I don't agree with what people say. I'm sorry. That's how people talk in the trades. That's why it's a private group. They didn't give a shit. But they didn't tell me they were shutting the group down. They said it was under review. They would let me know in 30 days. They never said shit. Technically, the group is still there. So the one that's like 50 something thousand now is technically the second group. So yeah, Facebook or Meta doesn't like me.
Yeah. Wow.
But sorry, Sam. Didn't mean to give that.
I just thought I would let you know in case there's something you can do to straighten it out with Google.
I love that Sam Andrews just pointing his camera at this picture. I love it.
It's funny. Everybody in the chat's like, is Sam on the FBI's most wanted? Stuff like that. So you know the chat is Sam. So they're.
I mean, dudes, I said way up before I got on that I would do audio only. I would have called in, you know.
I know.
And then you wouldn't have had shit to look at. How about that?
Nah, it's all good.
We're just busting nuts, bro. It's cool.
The phone not being on, I got to get that set up. That's literally this whole phone's purpose is just for that.
Was that Brian Sanders that I saw pop up on screen real quick?
Yeah, I don't know, Brian. I'm not sure where you are, brother. But you came in and you weren't there, and then you all of a sudden you came back in and you were technically it says you're still here. So let me close that out. Then you came in twice. And you were on the video, and then you went away. So I'm not sure what happened. Rookie said, calling the local police. Sam, they will be seeing you soon. There he is.
There he is.
I don't know, man.
Oh, now,
damn iPhone.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Not
What's
much,
up?
Hear
man.
me
How
okay?
are you? Yep.
So yeah, we'll have a little. There'll be a little lag. So sometimes if you say something, just because now when you start getting a lot of people, everybody's internet's involved. So if you say something, just give a couple of seconds after for somebody to respond. But thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, been wanting to come on for a while. I was making the rounds anyways, and then what the hell? You gave the open invitation, so I come on here. Of course, fully clothed, so I don't want to embarrass anybody.
No, and that's what these things are for, man. And I know sometimes the podcast is a little different because that's going to go out, but that's why these hangouts are so awesome, man. It's the people that are here every week coming in bullshitting. Like I was saying, you don't need to have a YouTube channel or a following. It's just coming in here, being able to put a face to a name and just bullshit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Except for Sam.
Or a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna freeze that right now. And every time he talks, I'm gonna think about this.
So one other thing, Gil, you were asking about suggestions for guests and things like that. So I had a suggestion. It's probably not as relevant now as it was before when you were still at Beltway, but there is an instructor, an HVAC teacher in your area. He teaches at, I believe it's a public high school. It's called Edison HVAC or Edison something, but with an HVAC program. And he has a YouTube channel. And he also is big in the HVAC education arena. You know, all those events that they have in Las Vegas and whatever.
Yeah.
He's big in those, but he's right there in the DC area. The school is called Edison. I think it's in the public school system. His name is Robert Stringham.
Huh?
I got him
No,
right here.
I
and
appreciate this.
I got him right here.
and
HVAC
and
at Edison HVAC.
and I've watched his videos, a lot of them. They helped me a lot, helped me pass the 608,
Yep.
and it's a high school program. And when you were talking late, like a year ago, when you were talking about how to find kids, find people to bring in the trades, or you were trying to hire people, and I was trying to tell you, this was in an email. Again, I know you get thousands of them. So I figured, he's like, a car drive away from you. You might be able to not only have him as a guest on the show, but you could go to their school and speak, or present to those kids, for when they graduate, or things like that. So
I
that still may be something you could do, with Ryan, Ryan Grimes, if that's something that might help them.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Thank you. I didn't even know that guy existed. So, and it's funny because I'm pretty good about the email. I do get a lot, but I'm pretty good about, especially people that I know. So and I don't remember those, so I do apologize. But
Can I interject here real quick?
yeah,
Edison HVAC. It's got 27.7K subscribers on YouTube, 99 videos. And just from what I'm looking through real quick on a scroll, there's a EPA 608 study guide videos, a lot of shorts. Looks like a decent. I haven't watched it myself, but looks like I've seen wiring diagrams, HVAC basics, electricity, project 3 drawing, ladder schematics. Looks like an informative channel, and I'm definitely going to check that out. And thank you, Sam, for bringing that
Yeah.
to our
No, he's
attention.
he's an
Yeah,
amazing teacher. He's an
yeah,
amazing teacher, and you know, he's on par with Ty, and he's teaching high school students, so he's got to be able to bring it down to to make it clear to them, and he does a really good job.
nice.
yeah, no, that's
Uh,
awesome. Especially if he's local. I'd love to do stuff because I'm planning on going up to stay in Jersey to see Craig, Mr. Craig Migliaccio, AC service tech.
yes. I'm going to New Jersey here in mid-July, and when we had Craig Migliaccio on our show, I told him, I said, I want to come meet you and hang out for at least a day. That way I could write off at least a quarter of my trip to New Jersey as a business expense. So I'm going
Hey
to
boy.
make my way. I'm going to send him the message, and hopefully he's like, yes, please come. Or he'll be like, no, I'd
I,
rather you don't. But
I can't
I'm good.
imagine. I can't imagine he would say no. Craig's not that kind of dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would. As long as I know Wednesday nights. That's why if you ever notice, every time he's been on my show, it's never been a Wednesday night show because he has something he does
Yeah.
church. So I
Yeah.
talked to Craig. He's a good friend. He's a very, very good guy. Very good Christian too.
Can we talk to Brian real quick? Because I feel bad. He's just standing here like he's in a police lineup.
I know. We've been staring at Sam the whole time. What's up, buddy?
Brian, what's up, dude?
Oh, not much, man. Just been with the new company now for, I don't know, maybe a month and maybe a month and a half. Um, was with somebody for a while and just kind of not getting thrown to the wolves, but been hitting service calls on my own with the new place. And actually, they asked me, they were like, yeah, we don't have to worry about you. So if you want to be on call this weekend, I was like, I can't do today because I already had a prior engagement, but I'm lined up for tomorrow.
Nice.
Are you-
I've seen some of the Instagram posts. It looked like you were putting in a ice machine. Am I wrong on that? Looked like a nice install, penetration through the roof. The piping was beautifully done, and some ice machine stuff. What's going on with that?
Yeah, we that was a Follett machine install. So they had a isomatic in there before, and of course we know that I do a lot of work for Starbucks now, and they're going to the Nugget Ice, so it's what they went with. Yeah, that one, it was hot on that roof. It was last Monday, and man, it was like 100 and I think the roof or the yeah, the roof was like 110 degrees. So it's like I was burning my knees leaning down there, but I was like, we got to get this done. So we got it done. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and of course with me, I had to make sure everything looked nice, because if not, it would have drive me crazy.
So you're doing all
Yeah.
commercial stuff for the most part, right?
Yeah, commercial. Yeah, refrigeration, HVAC. Um, Diving into some of the manual in. I want to start diving into that so that I can, you know, do some heat loads for commercial buildings like that, and you know, make the company more money.
Nice, man. Good for you. That's good to learn stuff like that. I I'm glad. I don't want to say that I miss it, but I'm glad that I did the refrigeration stuff in my early years. Because it was cool. I'm glad to have the experience doing it. But I don't miss that on call. Fuck that. Those 2:30 fucking in the morning calls to go to a Costco or something because the rack's down and it's in Virginia, and they're like, "Oh, I'll see you when you get here." I'm like, "Fuck, okay."
I I love her. I mean, to be honest with you, and as I told Ryan and them on their show, refrigeration that's my jam. I love refrigeration. You know, I come from the oil field for 12 years, so the on-call things never bothered me, because I could literally get home at say 2 o'clock in the morning and shit, shower, shave, lay my head down on a pillow, and 3 hours later I'm getting a call. We need you to run to Ohio, which is I'm just in West Virginia, but it's like 3 hours, 4 hour trip, and like whatever, it's what caffeine and nicotine's for.
No, yeah, no, I agree. I did it for years, man. In the grind, but I refrigeration was cool. That's why I say I'm glad that I had the experience doing it. And it was cool. I thought that's what you did. I didn't think you did any kind of residential stuff. I remember when I asked the questions.
Yeah, I've only been in this industry, um, what, 3 years going on, 3 years, yeah, and some still new, but I talk to Brett quite often, Brett Wetzel, um, and I'm kind of like him. I'm always like, I guess you could call me a geek, because I'm constantly reading service manuals and that sort of thing, because there's always something to learn, and as long as I've got something to learn, I'm not bored. As I've said before, when I get bored, it's I get in my own headspace, and that's not a good place to be sometimes.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that one to get better, man. I did the same thing. I was a nerd like that, reading the manuals and the books and stuff because I got sick and tired of not knowing. Um, I felt like I was too reliant on my dad when I worked with him, and I learned how reliant I was when I first left him. And that's when I was doing the same stuff. Wanting to get better is not a bad thing. To be honest, I think more people need to have that kind of mentality. I think too many people, especially in the residential field, they learn just enough to be dangerous and they stop.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they know enough to get through a call. They know they're a master of the basics, but that's it. And I think that handicaps a lot of technicians, and they're too afraid to look in the mirror when they're the problem. Sadly, I was that guy for a little bit, so I get it.
Yeah. Just
well,
like
when you're like that, it's when you just learn just enough to get by. I mean, you're not doing yourself any favors, you're not doing the customer any favors, and you're not doing the company you work for any favors and stuff
No,
like that. I mean, my dad always told me, go big or go home. Either do it 100% or don't do it at all. And that's the way I, live my life. And I get paid good money to be a professional, and so I'm going to take it seriously, and I'm going to put as 110% into it. That's just the way I am. I know I'm coming off pretty serious. I can be kind of goofy, but I don't know.
No, it's all good. I mean, and Ryan, you'll know this. Like most anybody who is like a decent person with any kind of morals, like if when you do something, you're going to try to be somewhat good at it. Maybe some are going to go a little bit further because maybe some people are like, I'm going to get really good at it, but I also want my family time, or I want this, or this is really important in my life, my faith, or whatever it is. Um, but I feel like most people try to be good at what they're doing. They try to keep excelling. But I do find, I don't know, maybe it's some of the younger techs that I've met there's so much potential, it's disgusting. And they're the ones that I'm seeing that are doing that like just enough stuff. And I'm like, man, do you have
Yeah.
any like if you guys only had any clue about what you could be doing or where you could be in this industry right now, just blows me away that you guys are squandering this. Like, please have your aha moment and wake up.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know. People will call and I'll be like, hey, you know, here's a little bit of guidance on what you should be looking at, because a lot of times I field phone calls when I'm looking at my own thing, and I'll be like, take this, get a little bit of guidance, and then call me back and see if that helped. I don't hear a phone call back. I'll call them back at the end of the day and say, hey, what ended up happening? They'll be like, yeah, you were right. Um, that helped. It got me in the direction. I ended up figuring it out. But I see a lot of just stuff that's clear. People don't care. Pulleys are completely unaligned. Things aren't tight. Obvious things that is like you should have taken a little bit more time and just made sure. I guess I don't know. I see where you're coming from on that, Gil, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's
and I want you guys to think about this too. And I said it on the podcast this week. Most of us, and there's a bunch of influencers and people doing stuff. I think there's a lot of people who give a shit about this trade. They care about what they do, their workmanship, and stuff like that. And they consider this is a career and they want to make it better. Like this is your life. But there's the other side where it's just a job for them. And sadly, there's more of them than there is of us. And until we change that, we can't lift our trade to the kind of heights that we want it to be when half of them don't value what we do. But then we get angry when customers go, I'm not spending $300 for that $15 part. Well, half of our trade feels the same way. So how can we get mad at the customer for doing it? So I don't know. That's just that whole thing fucking gets to me sometimes. What's
yeah.
up,
Well,
Chris?
Brian's doing great. 4 years in, he's dedicated, working hard, learning, and you're doing a lot. You're working on things that I don't work on ice machines. Not that I refuse, but I don't see enough of them. And when I do see them, I'm like, oh, I'm like a deer in headlights. You know what I'm saying? So, um, definitely got the ability, and the drive. And I think you're going to do great things. I've been following you on Instagram, and, I implore everybody to go follow, check out Brian Sanders on all his social media. I think he's a
Yeah.
great tech. He's certainly moved up through the ranks. I talked to him. I know I've got some history with Brian, so I know that where he came from and what he did to working with the Coca-Cola and moving up and going on. So I'm proud of you, Brian. I think you're great. I love your product, or you could say, but the content you're putting out. I think you're got a bright future ahead of you. So keep it up. And it, any new guys out there, I would suggest follow Brian and take follow his lead, because he's doing it right, and that's it. I like what Brian's doing. What do you think, Sam Andrew? That beautiful picture, that beautiful picture of yours.
Now I think you're jerking my chain. In the beginning, I believed you about the
What?
picture.
No, I do. I do like the picture, but
Yeah.
what's your opinion of Brian? My question.
No, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah.
his story. I heard his story from, he's been on a few other podcasts, the
Yep.
progression.
Yep.
And I first learned about you, Brian, when Jennifer talked about how you came into her little training. And I thought you were like a brand new tech, like a true rookie. And then I hear about all the stuff that you do. Um, it's pretty impressive, and
Absolutely.
Especially for 3
Well, I mean,
years.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but I, you know, I just, I love what I do. It's the only regret I have is not getting into this industry sooner because I'm 48 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Like 30
And
years ago.
yeah, I really wish. I just, I'm not big on what ifs,
Yeah.
because you can't change the past. You can't do anything about the past. You can only learn from it.
Sure.
But it's just like, I just say, what if I got into this industry in my 20s? Where would I be now? Would I be a, grumpy old pain in the ass tech, or would I be a lot further along where I'm at? You know what I mean? I'd be where I'm at. So I feel that I have to work at my age. I have to work twice as hard to make up for those years that I wasn't in the industry, which in turn gives me the drive and stuff, to get where I want to get. Because as I've told people, I I, I want to get into rack refrigeration. Just from talking to Brett, the whole transcritical CO2 systems and stuff. That it just I can't get enough of it. He sent me a lot of stuff to read, and I haven't got my hands on it, but I feel like once I get to that point where I can get my hands on it, it's not going to be something that I'm just going to be standing there going, "Oh, what am I supposed to do?" Okay, this, I know this is what this does. This is what this does. It's just like going on a first date with a woman. It's you gotta kind of get to know it, kind of thing. You know how the women are going to be, or that your date's going to be, but you got to get more intimate with it. You got to figure out the intricacies, and that just takes time. You can't force that. So,
Depends on how
but
much you cost.
well, yeah, and what part of town you go in, and
There's certain
that sort of
expectations. I'm
thing.
just saying, but not to interrupt you, but what you're saying. First of all, I love Brett. Brett he is. People don't realize how smart that guy is, because when you're around him, he's so funny and he jokes and he's so quirky, which you can't be around him and not piss your pants laughing. It can't happen. But he is extremely, extremely smart. And like I said, I did rack refrigeration. I want to say maybe like year like 7, 8 in the industry, not year 3, when I was doing rack refrigeration. And I thought I was pretty good. And when I talked to Brett, I feel like I don't know dick. Like I just should have never been touching one of those chillers. I mean, one of those things ever. So I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I've talked to him on the phone, and stuff, he'll like I was having an issue with the DTC valves on these freezers. Some of the regions I used to work in used the DTC valve because it ran R448A, uh, and those have a really high discharge temperature. So they run that DTC valve, excuse me, to inject liquid refrigeration back into the compressor to keep the discharge temperatures down. Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to ramble, but I was talking to him and he was asking questions and I was understanding what he was saying, and then he started going off and like Brett's known to do, because Brett, yeah, I was like, slow it down for me, man, slow it down. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, and then he started to explain it to me, but I just I think a lot of the dude, and that's one of the reasons I went to the company I'm at now, because he's the head trainer for the company basically, and I know I'm gonna get a chance to train with him, and I can't wait for that because I just want to pick his brain.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
it's gonna be a good time.
It's funny when you're with Brett long enough, like you can literally watch his brain move. Like he's like, you know what I mean? Like you watch him like he's constantly going. And if you sit there and watch him, it's like he's just fucking going. He had me and Rookie fucking pissing our pants. The last night at AHR, it was me, Rookie, Brett, Craig Migliaccio, Brandon, and his team, and Ty Brenneman was there. And let's just say that was a really fun dinner.
Sounds like a fun dinner. That's an awesome place to be.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be bouncing out of here. Brian, nice talking to you again. Sam, Andrew, nice to hear you. But yeah, dude, it's definitely cool to meet you. Gil, thanks a lot for having me on. Brian, Sam, Gil, everybody have a good evening. I'm bouncing. So
You too,
have a
buddy.
good
I'm
one,
going to reach
guys.
out so
Yep.
you actually come on the podcast yourself, Ryan. We need to make that happen. So
All right. Sounds good. Bye, guys.
see you, buddy.
All
See
right.
you, Ryan.
See ya.
All right, let me go back to the 3 screen and switch. Oh, we got names on here still. Hold on, let me switch people around here. You're now guest 1 and you're now guest 2. There we go. And let me see if I can turn these names off.
See, who am I? I'm Josh.
Josh.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sadly normally
Leave mine on.
yeah, leave it as Kevin. I normally change the names on the scenes I use like the night of the podcast. So that's why I should be able to turn them off though. There we go. There we go.
Fancy.
What side of the trade are you in, Sam? Are you doing more residential stuff or are you doing the commercial stuff like they're doing?
No, residential. Lightweight so
No,
far.
yeah, but sadly though, I think there's some guys that thrive in the commercial side and people that thrive in the residential side, but I would never say that one is harder than the other. There's just different nuances to each, and I've always hated that, install versus service, the commercial versus fucking residential kind of thing. Especially somebody who's done a little bit of everything, in this industry. They all have their own perks and they all both have their own, drawbacks. That's why we have these different avenues. It doesn't matter which one you go to. I think a lot of people heard the story. A friend of mine that I went to school with was a master HVAC tech, and he works on dialysis machines. His dad got him a job doing that for a hospital. Guy makes like $350,000, $400,000 a year traveling to these hospitals because apparently like the pressure temperature relationship is so similar that that's something we could work on. It's crazy.
Yeah. But it seems like there's quite a few YouTubers that do commercial. I don't know. But there's a few that do residential.
Yeah, normally residential is the easiest, especially like the side gig dudes. that are out just filming that, which whatever, I get it. The only thing is sometimes commercial, depending on what you do, you can't always have a camera. I mean, I know some of the places that I went to, um, I couldn't I couldn't take a camera in there. Those guys be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? So I think maybe that's why some of those things get a little bit harder. If you're doing like rooftops all day and shit like that, that's different. But that there's a lot of other things that you're inside going through buildings and you can't have a camera.
Yeah, and that stuff is it's even more these days. Probably the last 10 years or so, when GoPro cameras and everything got popular. It seems like there's a lot of businesses that have a policy, no public, disclosure of anything. They do not authorize anybody to film. Uh, they're real touchy about that. So, and there was one guy, I could probably think of the name, but I probably shouldn't even mention the name, even if I could. But there's a guy that was on YouTube that was forced to stop his whole channel because the company he worked for wouldn't let him film anymore.
Yeah, no, I believe it. Some places don't want that, especially the big corporate stuff. If you're out there doing good work, it's only going to help the company you work for. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. Um, People that watch, and I don't even have a big YouTube following at all. You guys know that. I'm trying to get that built up. But it's the audio podcast is where people know me from. And we had people call Beltway. Like, is this where Gil works? So I get it. Maybe some people don't want that kind of attention, especially a corporate place. But I believe it. I believe that.
Yeah, and there was another guy that was started a small channel, a residential service tech. He started a small YouTube channel maybe a year ago, maybe, I don't know, it's hard to remember, but he was doing like a video every day or every other day, and it got to the point where he had permission from his company, the company he worked for, to do it. And then all of a sudden his boss told him that he couldn't do it anymore, and he had to pull down all of his videos that he had already taken because the laws in his state were that you had to have people's permission, like residents. You had to have their permission to film on their property, even if you didn't show their face. And he said, well, what if I asked them permission before he said, no, we're not going to do that. So he had to take down his entire collection of videos.
That's crazy. That's crazy, but sadly, I believe it. Um, yeah, that's nuts. That people think that way, and I get the commercial and stuff like that. You're doing government work, you can't have your phone anyway. But going in people's houses, I've never had a person say anything, especially when you're not putting them in the video. Um, and a lot of times you tell people like, "Hey, we do this just CYA to cover our ass and as a learning experience." And they're like, "Whatever, as long as you fix it when you're done, I don't give a shit if you film it or not." Especially if you're not getting them in there. So that's a shitty company if they did that to them.
Yeah.
I'm checking the email,
But I could see
Ricky. I don't see anything. Sorry, Sam.
it's one thing if you're like, a lot of these techs will tell people that they film their work so that it protects both them and the customer, because if they do something wrong, or if they forget to put a wire back or something like that, or if it was like that before, they both have proof, and they have proof that they're doing their job. So I think that makes sense, but it's a different thing if you're not only filming it, but then putting it on YouTube. And I think some people could get a little bit, squeamish about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Uh,
definitely something you have to understand people's, their home. You know what I mean? If I think if you're in somebody's mechanical room, you know what I mean? Like you're not outside, like, in front of their house with their address. Like I said, if they're not in the video, I mean, if you do it to where you're just filming like the furnace and you can see part of the mechanical room and you're explaining what you're doing, like I can't imagine a customer getting mad because nobody's going to know that that's their mechanical room. But I do agree that I think some people, um, when they show pulling up to the house and they show the person's house, and that's a little different because, a local person's going to be like, oh, that's Mrs. Smith's house. That's a little different. And I could understand why people would get upset about that. I think it's all about how you do it. But I mean, fuck, that's anything in life.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. But I do see, it depends on uh, which broadcaster, which YouTuber, whatever you call them, is doing it. Some of them are careful and some are not. And some, like, I watch videos all the time where I see them pulling up to the house. I see them walking through the house. You don't just see the mechanical room. You see their hallway. You see their bathrooms. You see pictures on the wall, and they don't always blur them out. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know about most people. I don't think I would want that kind of stuff to be on there, even if there's nothing. It's just personal stuff. But uh, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I can't say that I don't.
Mm.
I don't agree with you. That's like I said. There's a right and a wrong way to do it, and I know that there's some people that um, I get maybe in the beginning you might get antsy as you're walking to the call, but I agree that's not where I would film in somebody's house because you could get that, and if it's one thing to film it in the moment, but to make the decision to keep it in the video. I mean, obviously, if you're doing YouTube videos, I mean, somewhat some kind of editing to be able to cut here and take this part out. So if you make the choice to keep it in there, then I kind of agree. That's kind of a shitty thing to do.
That's
Mm.
one of the main reasons that I just stuck to Instagram. I mean, I've done some lives and stuff, but with just posting pictures of my work and stuff like that, I be more picky, and most generally the pictures that I post are ones that I've taken that I'm going to attach to the work order anyways, for proof of work. So I've already thought about how, it's going to look and that sort of thing. But I mean, maybe someday I'll get into YouTube. I've posted a couple of videos, but nothing major. But I enjoy posting pictures of work. I enjoy seeing pictures of people's work. My wife asked me, why when you get home from 12, 14-hour days and after you sit down for a little bit, why are you watching people working? And I'm like, well, I mean, that's what I like to do. Some people like to read a book. Uh, some people like to listen to music. I like to watch videos of how people do stuff because maybe I'll learn something, an easier way to do it. I'm in the whole realm of what Pat from Commercial Kitchen Chronicles says. Uh, you learn how we're lazy, so you learn how to do things the easy way, or the right do things the right way in the easy way because we're lazy, and that's how I look at it.
You always have to be pushing yourself forward. There's no such thing as staying the same. It's just I don't believe in it. You're either falling backwards or you're moving forward, and um, as long as you're moving forward, it doesn't matter what pace. If it's a slow pace, a fast pace, at least you're moving in the right direction. That's just kind of how I've always felt. What's up, HVAC Nate? Um, I don't know. It's been weird. And kind of like your story earlier, Brian, how you said how you wish you would have done earlier, so you kind of had that sense of urgency. And so, as I said, I was, when I got off drugs, when I stopped being and realized the opportunity that was given to me. Um, I was like, fuck it. If I want to do things, then I got to light that fire under my ass. And that's a fire that'll always be there. It's never going to go away. So I commend you on that. It's a good thing to have. You'll get things done. And it's amazing what people can learn from the little things, reading manuals, looking at wiring schematics and stuff like that. Like you can call it nerdy if you want, but you can learn so much about a piece of equipment by reading that manual front to back.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. I was just in your neck of the woods week before last. We went to the beach. I mean, I don't know how close I was to you. We come up was it 97 and then cut
Oh yeah.
across bypass Baltimore. Yeah,
Yeah. So if you
went
go
down to
up,
the.
you were on Eastern Shore?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so yeah, so I live if 97, and then there's a thing that goes off. So you keep going 97, which turns into 50, you go over the Bay Bridge, or there's Route 3 that turns into 301. That's a straight
Okay.
shot. If you go down that, it runs into my house, going down 301. So some people, like, I can get to the beach from my house, like, it's not that bad if I go the back way. Like I said, I'm like maybe 15 minutes from DC, if with no traffic, uh, and I'm like 50 minutes an hour away from Baltimore when I used to be the other way around. Um, I was damn near I could throw a rock into Baltimore City. I lived in one of the suburbs that's right outside the city. That used to be nice, but it's slowly getting worse, which is one of the reasons I got so far away.
Yeah, I like that whole area down there. I lived on the Eastern Shore for about 4 years when I was a kid, and I've always liked that whole Delmarva Peninsula area. It's got a real nice vibe to it, and you just can't get fresh oysters here in West Virginia. So
Oh yeah, you
that's
can't beat our seafood, man. We have a beach house in Delaware. It's literally, if you go to Ocean City, Maryland, it's like a 20-minute drive. It's not a big deal. Plus, there's no state sales tax in Delaware. But when we go stay there and um and go down to the ocean, man, I love it down there. The only thing is going growing up around there, I can only do like long weekends. If I go there for a week, if I'm fishing, I'm fine. If I'm not fishing, then I get bored.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we actually when we left on a Saturday and we always make our trip into Ocean City and then uh we went up into Rehoboth and went up to the outlets up there and went to a couple places at Dewey Beach and stuff like that. We used to go to Ocean City and it's just it's it's not what it used to be.
I
So
I agree.
that's yeah, that's why we go down the Virginia side. Stay on Chincoteague Island. We've been doing that for years. It's got a small town feel. It's quiet, man. At 10 o'clock at night, you can hear yourself think, and it's very relaxing. I love it down there. We're gonna move down there, so
Nice.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't. If you're not from the Northeast, you wouldn't think that all those little beaches, all wrapped up and down there, a little place to stop. Like that's a nice little trip. I mean, people
Hmm.
it's beautiful scenery, um, and some amazing food. So especially if you like seafood, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, I love the raw oysters and shrimp and yeah, of course crabs. Yeah. You just can't wear good clothes, and if you're not used to eating crabs, you don't want to eat too good, wear too good of clothes because I always end up wearing half of it because I'm not the best at cracking the shells, but it's all good.
Well, I'll have to get people down here and show. Every time my friends come, any friends, whether HVAC or whatever, come from out of town. Everett, who was just on the Misfits podcast, when he came to Baltimore, me and Everett were hanging out. A bunch of us went out, and I took him to a seafood place, and I had to show him all how to eat crabs. They were all sitting there like beating the piss out of it. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, come on, you are destroying that thing. I'm like, I'll give you crab picking 101. Like, just relax. I can't watch you destroy those things.
Yeah, I tell you what I really like is soft shell crab. Now that's really good, but people are like, oh, so they take the meat out? No, no, nope, they just fry it up whole. You eat the whole thing. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's gross. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't think it's gross if you ever tasted it.
Yeah, no, it's not gross. They cut the face off, and it's one of the ones where the shell's not hard. So it's, you don't, yeah, you don't know. So yeah, I would destroy those things. Soft crab sandwich is fucking money.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
the only thing, a Baltimore thing that I never got into, and you may not have eaten this, is the codfish cakes.
I've had them. I mean, I like cod, but it's just not. I don't know. I never could get into them.
Yeah, I can't eat those, man. My mom will destroy those. One of my best friends, Nick, he would fucking eat those things. Like, he would take the codfish cake and then put it on a cracker and then like put mustard on it, and he would destroy it. And I'm like, "Bleh."
Oh yeah.
um, but
Mm.
there's not much that I don't like. But it's funny. I'm got shrimp that I'm gonna steam this weekend. So tomorrow, actually tomorrow, I got steam. I'm gonna steam shrimp, and I got beef ribs, smoked beef ribs for the first time.
Yeah, they're hard to keep lit.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I got some other things back up that I don't fuck these things up. But my pork ribs though, they're fucking, they're money. I've got those nailed. I'm getting pretty decent on the smoker. Still have a lot to learn, but I've been getting pretty decent results.
Yeah,
Gil,
I was.
Go ahead, Sam.
what was that about? You said that you're going to have to start doing these early instead of late. It
Oh,
was it was my understanding that so if you did it early and then they did the Ryan's Misfits thing, and then you would have your movie night with your kids.
yeah. So they would just wait. So you figure if I started at, I don't know, 8 and went till 9, I would just go upstairs at 9 and be and be with my daughters, especially this summer with no school. We normally, I want to say normally it's probably like 8:30 at the latest. Me and my two daughters that you'll see here sometimes will go up in my bedroom and we'll watch a movie until like 9:30. That's when my wife's doing her stuff, by herself. The kids are out of her hair. So however long she takes, and then she'll come up and say, "All right, come on, go to bed." And sometimes that's 9:30, sometimes 9:45. Every once in a while it's 10 o'clock. But normally if it's late, then I got them asleep on me. So that's just kind of been always been our time, and they love that. So, and then Friday nights, the reason that I've always said that I've always missed the HVAC overtime show, which sucks because they're all good friends of mine, um, is because that's kind of like our family night that we've always done. My wife started that years ago, especially with the age gap with the kids. The boys being older, the girls being younger. That's the night that we always, everybody eats dinner as a family at the table. Then we always watch some kind of movie or do something. So that's always been kind of a family night. And then I love that my wife has done that because my oldest son's not going to be here, a couple more years. He's going to move out, all that kind of stuff. So try to do it now.
Well, the reason I was confused is because so the Misfits ends at I guess it's 10 your time, right? When it's
Oh,
over. So
oh, they don't start till
wouldn't that
9. That's right.
so like wouldn't your girls be asleep by then or about? I mean, you're not going to get started with the movie at 10 o'clock, would you?
Well, no, because sadly, it just means that I wouldn't be able to watch their show. So if I did it before and I went 8 to 9, it just means at 9 o'clock, I would go upstairs with my daughters at 9 and I just wouldn't watch their show. So that's the only bad part. Like whereas tonight, since I was going afterwards, I was like, well, shit, I might as well hop in and watch some of their show because I'm going to go on afterwards. But if I was to switch it and go before, it means that I would miss the Misfits. I would have to watch it like after the fact.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. My daughters were pissed tonight. The one was like, she's like, "You're doing a podcast on a Saturday night?" I was like, "Well, it's not a podcast, it's a live stream." "Oh, so it's not even a podcast? You're just going downstairs to talk to your friends?" I was like, what is going on here?" I'm like, "You're 6. Why are you interrogating me? Like, what is going on?"
You
What's up,
know
Miss
it's
Susie?
just beginning.
Oh yeah, I definitely know, and especially my youngest
Hmm.
daughter, man. She is like my shadow. If I am home, or I'm, especially now that I'm home more, um she has to know where I am. I mean, I'll get random FaceTimes. She'll take my wife's phone and be like, "Hey, Daddy, where are you?" I'm like, "I walked out back to the shed." "Oh, okay, I'm coming out." Like, "Oh, Jesus Christ," but you enjoy that stuff while it works. Yeah,
Hey, I'm
Riley
gonna
is
have
my.
to.
Go ahead.
It's
I'm
like
sorry. I'm gonna have to hop off here. God, I can't speak. Hop off here. My phone just told me I'm on low battery, so I don't want to just drop out.
ooh,
No, it's all good. I'm gonna get ready to cut this thing anyway. But thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here every week, Brian. I appreciate you, bro.
I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it for the world. I have a lot of fun, man. Thanks for doing for what you do, and I wish you all the best of luck with your new venture. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. It's good meeting talking to you, Sam.
I think Sam's not listening. Sam said, "Fuck you, Brian." Let me switch this real fast. And there we go. Um, yeah, rookie Riley. So my older daughter Riley, she's the one that she's an evil genius. That girl's so smart, she scares the shit out of me. But
You're not an idiot. You know what you're doing. My older
what's
daughter
that?
Riley, she's the one that she's an evil genius. That girl's so smart, she scares the shit out of me.
I think we're playing through your
You're
speakers
not
there,
an
bud.
idiot. You know what you're doing. My older daughter Riley, she's the one that she's an evil genius. That girl's so smart, she scares the shit out of me. I think we're playing. You're not an idiot. You know what you're doing.
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. I had to mute you, Sam. Your audio is coming back through the thing, buddy. I just unmuted you now.
so I don't know if you can hear me. My looks like my video froze up.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now. For a second there, the audio from the show was looping back in. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, I was only gonna do this till 11:30. I am gonna get ready to get off of here. But I'm whether you showed your face or not, dude. I really appreciate you coming in here, though, Sam. To finally at least put a voice to be able to talk to you, man. I know you've been in my chats for a while. You've won some things. You got something coming to you. So I appreciate you hopping in tonight, man. I really do. I don't know if Sam can hear me. So Sammy, you can chime in anytime, buddy. If not, I'm gonna start closing this thing out.
Okay, I am.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
trying to juggle two phones because the thing kind of locked up on me. I didn't want to. Yeah, I'm having to turn down the volume and turn it back up. I hear it feedback, so uh, I guess I can just close it out.
All right, I'll close it out, man, and I'll just do it solo. So thank you for coming in, Sam. I appreciate you, buddy. We'll go ahead and go here. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. So, guys, I'm gonna try to start doing these every week. I'll let you know what time I'm doing it next week, but come in, hang out, man. I'll have the phone next week if you guys want to call in, and maybe I'll try to have some kind of theme of the night or something to try to make these a little more scripted. To be honest, tonight I was just winging it. I was just seeing if people would hop in and bullshit. Um, Obviously, anybody who want to hop in can, and if not, it's all good. We'll sit here and bullshit and talk about whatever. But thank you guys. Appreciate you, man. And this Wednesday, I have a good podcast. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, um, he's a Maryland guy. Garrett Torrey, I think it's what it is. Garrett, I know it's Garrett. I forget his last name. But he's like, what is? I forget his name. It's like G Torrey, HVAC or something like that. But Garrett's a younger guy doing really good work. So I'm looking forward. He's one of the visionaries. I'm gonna have all the HVAC visionaries, young guys out there, excited, doing really good things. I'm gonna have all four of them on the show individually to hear their story and all that kind of stuff. So don't be a fool, rap your tool. But anyway, no, nothing to close out tonight, man. I appreciate you guys for being here. Enjoy what's left of the rest of your weekend. And yeah, I hope to see all of you like I normally do on Wednesday nights. All right. See you. I don't gotta play anything. Look at me. I don't do anything. So all right. Love you guys. Go fuck yourself. Goodbye.